Okay, sorry about that. So the class is being recorded now. Okay, so in my HTML here, I have a flex container here, a div class of container. As you can see here, the one that has the class of container. So this one with a div class of flex container is the parent element. And inside this parent element, we have div class of flex child, about six of them. So the six of them are the flex children. They are the children of the parent container, which is the flex container. Okay, so let me add some CSS here. Okay, okay, all right. So as you can see here, the flex container, which is the parent container, has the background of blue. And inside it, we have the flex items, which are the one, two, three, four, 5, and 6 of them. And they are all aligned vertically. So the way Flex works is that anytime I want to use Flexbox, we use the Flexbox on the parent container. For example, this parent container, if we want to say okay, we want all our items from 1 to 6 to align horizontally. How do we do that? Then that's when we use the display flex. So when I say display flex, okay, you can see them clearly now. So when I say display flex, we see what happens, right? All of them, they all align horizontally. Yes, that is what happens when you do the display of flex. So let's say in our website now, we are working and we want to align each of the items side by side. We do that with the display of flex. As we all can see, all of them are aligned side by side. Also, we can say, okay, I want the direction of my items, that's the flex items inside the flex container. I want it to be aligned vertically. Then how do we do that? We say, okay, flex direction of column, and this is what happens. Okay, you can see now they are all aligned vertically. But then if we do a flex direction of row, see what happens. But it goes back to do it was. And if we remove the flex direction of row, nothing changes. And what's the reason for that? It is because when we do a display of flex, the default is a flex direction of row. So nothing will change. This is the default. But when we say a flex direction of column, then dimension will change to vertical alignment. Also, there are other flex properties too we can use. For example, the justify property. So what does the justify property do? Justify property can easily help us to say, to control the flex children any way we want to put them. For example, let's say I want these 6 items to spread from the left to the right side of my screen. How do I do that? That's when I do the justify content and I use space between. And when I save, we see what happens. This is what happens. So all of them from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they all spread across the full screen. That's taking the full width of the container. Also, what if I say, okay, I want to have spaces around all of them. What do I do? Then I'll use the justify content of space around, and let's see how space around works too. This is how it works. So all the items will still spread across the screen, but this time there will be space around them. Another one we can use too is the justify content of space evenly. And space evenly works almost the same way with the space around, but there is a little difference. When I do space evenly, let's see what happens and I save. We may not notice much difference, but we see that when we did space around, they are all space around, right? But the space on the left part of the screen and the right side of the screen is not the same thing with the space in between them. But when we do is the one for space evenly, we see that the space on the left side and between all the 6 items, which are the 6 boxes here, they are all equal. So there are use cases for both of them. Justify content space between and space around. What if we say, okay, we want all of them instead of spreading across the screen, they should be in the center. We can easily do justify content of center, and this is what happens. So all of them now are the center of the parent container. So there is still more to the justify property. For example, let's say we do a flex direction of column, and our container has an height of let's say 500 pixel. Good now. So our container has a height of 500 pixel and the flex direction is in column. We can still use the justify content of center. For example, now it's still in center, and we can see that all the items, they are all aligned in the center. That is why the justify so we can see that justify content can also work when the flex direction is in column. You can still do justify content space between, and yes, it still works. There will still be space in between. Yes, so with the justify content property, we can do a lot to our website and arrange items the way we want. Another property of Flexbox is the align property. We can use the align items to align items horizontally. How can we do that? Well, let's see. Let's say, for example, we have about 6 boxes here. One, two, three, four, five, six. But then I say, okay, I want to make box 3 to be taller than the rest. And this is it here. As you can see, I've given them classes of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can easily select any one I want. So let me select box 3 and say I'm giving it a height of 200 pixel. Good. So now it is very, very bigger than the rest. What if we say, okay, we want all of them to be aligned horizontally? You can easily do that with the align items of center. Align, and if I hit save, we'll see good. So this is what happens. They are all aligned to the center of the parent container. Also, we can say, okay, what if we want all the items to be at the bottom of the page? We can easily do align items flex start. So when we do flex start, well, nothing changes because right now they are at the top of the page. But then what if we want to bring everything down to the end of the container? We do the align items of flex end, and this is what happens. So this is the parent container that is 500 pixel tall, and these are the flex children. So now they have all been aligned to the end of our page, to the bottom of the page. So this is how we can use the align property on our flex items. And also there's still more to CSS Flexbox. Let's say for example the flex children, they are all, let me give them a width of like width of 200 pixel. Okay, let's just say 400 pixel. Good. Okay, good. So now they have a width of 300 pixel. Okay, I'm giving it 300 pixel. So right now they have a width of 300 pixel, but there's a problem here. As we can see, the page is overflowing, and we all agree that this is not a good thing if people see such a thing on our website. Well, how do we make it in a way that all this will not happen? Because still the flex container is in a display of flex, so all the items will be aligned side by side horizontally. So what do we do? That is when we use the flex property of flex wrap. So when I do a flex wrap of wrap, this is what happens. Good. So all the items will wrap, and this one will prevent the screen from overflowing. So we've seen some basic examples of how CSS Flexbox works too. And also, in addition to this, we can still do something like, what if we say, okay, this is item 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but then we want to reverse everything, like item 6 will be at the top, be in the starting, then 5 will be the second. We can easily do that with a flex direction of column reverse, and this is what happens. Good. So right now we see everything is starting from 5, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Same thing, so we can do it with the flex direction of row reverse. And when I do row reverse, this is what happens. Good. That is what happens here. So let me remove the width I added before and see. Okay, good. So as we can see now, all the items is now in a reverse order from 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So that is one nice thing about Flexbox too. So with Flexbox, we can fully control how our control the layout of our page, either vertically or horizontally. And also we can make our items to be well stacked, to arrange well, so that we won't have any overflowing in our page too. So these are just the basics of CSS Flexbox and how it works. And there is a lot more to it. There's still a lot more to it. So as we keep on learning and as the training goes on, we'll learn more of them and we'll learn to use more of them. So this way we are bringing our class for CSS Flexbox to a close for today. But there is still, so right now I don't know, some of us may have questions. Maybe during the class there are some things we don't understand or some things we would like to know. We are now open to questions. So if you have question, you can indicate. Why is it okay? Okay. Oh yes, sorry about that.